Welcome to Made Up of Wires. This is going to be a short stream, and it's probably going to be a little rocky. I've been having a lot of internet issues, and we have Cox coming out to investigate, but I don't have much hope. So we'll take a look at, unfortunately, the way I have things set up, I'm streaming from my phone, which might not be the best. And so I don't really have access to both my home network and the internet at the same time. So I'm going to just work on what I have out already, which, if you remember, was part of the Outer Wall. If you're not familiar with the Symphony of the Night Decompilation project, go to soten.z.dev, and you can learn more about the project. You can find a link to GitHub and to Discord, where we're talking about things related to Soten decompilation, and you can see all the different overlays that we've been working on. We had been working on the Sword Familiar and got kind of to a stopping point with that. I have a bunch of PRs that still need to go out. Only 2 of them have been merged in so far, and there's a third out that's kind of blocking the other ones. I'm kind of piecemealing them and putting them into place, but I think there's 4 functions that aren't decompiled yet on the Sword Familiar, and we were kind of just working on that on the stream, not really with the rest of the group over in Discord, just stream only. So we were working on Outer Wall, and it looked like there was something related to the skeleton ape, maybe barrel or something similar to that, and so let's keep working on that. We got pretty close, 93%. That was last Tuesday, and we'll try to do a little bit more there. I'm gonna be a little short today as well, because of the previously mentioned internet service provider debugging. We'll see how well that goes. But we can work on this for a little bit and see how it goes. I hope everybody had a great Christmas. Hopefully you spent time with family. I'm just kind of refamiliarizing myself with where this was. I think we're still going through and just getting rid of variables, and then we'll start looking at what some of these differences are down here. I won't be able to pull the PSP version, unfortunately, because my my other computer is not connected to anything at the moment. All right, so let's quickly go through these and see what is being used and what isn't. I think that this doesn't need to be in a separate variable. And if we get through this, maybe I'll fire up an emulator and we can try to step through some of this as well. I had some suspicion about this earlier, but it wasn't necessarily working out, that this check for less than signed short max was related to some overflow logic related to the division, but that didn't seem to pan out, so I'm going to leave that like it is. It's still a little suspicious to me, but without going into the PSP version, I don't have a better way to debug that at the moment. So most of these are going to fall out. All right. So we have this new entity variable already, as well as this other referenced entity. It would be nice to know And unfortunately, I didn't have time to get a a safe spot here. It would be nice to know if that is... so this could be like the barrel. This could be the explosion. There's a bunch of things around the skeleton ape that this could be referencing. Sorry for the frame drops as well. Or compression if that's what you're seeing. Definitely a suboptimal day, but I wanted to show up for consistency, and then hopefully tomorrow will be a little bit better. We'll see if they they fix anything. All right, so Tempest 1, I'm just going to call unknown entity for now. And I think this is cleaned up now enough that I can start going through and looking at some of these differences. Yeah, sorry about that. I have laid out my plan finally for a fiber install, and when Cable Man comes today, I will talk to him about getting that scheduled. I have to order a media enclosure and make sure that all the infrastructure is in place before calling them out. Dry skin. Nah. Yeah. All right, so we need to figure out what's going on here. There's a load from offset 6, which would be this, I believe, this position Y I high. Would that be 6? So 4 would be low. And that's not... Oh, it's showing up way, way down here. Just want to make sure these are branching to the same spot, and it looks like they are. So it's possible that these are being done outside of the loop. I can't remember what I had tried earlier. But it's also possible that these aren't being pulled into a separate variable at all. We did have a nice Christmas. It was a little different than we expected. We got tricked into hosting, but then we we showed everybody by having sick kids and nobody wanting to come over to to our house. So ended up eating a lot of ham to ourselves. Howdy, Entropy Gravity Well. Howdy, Dig Down Deep. Good to have you both back today. I think the best news to end the year out, I learned today that Costco is finally returning Coke to the cantina. Let the world rejoice. Okay, so these, yeah, I was messing around with this. Now I kind of remember this from last week. The ordering here is funny. Let me review the decomp, the M2C decomp, and see what's going on here. Yeah, so there's some variables that appear to be pulled out prior to this condition. And forcing that ordering is appearing to be tricky. There's nothing that uses these variables, so it would be nice if they could just go right into the argument list. But I don't know if compiler is going to like that either. All right. Yeah, unfortunately, this is just going to be kind of poking around this, looking for the right combination. So the X and Y loads are getting interleaved with this params load. Params should come after, and we could force that with the do while trick. Obviously not optimal. But that does give us the correct ordering above. So let me try this. No. It's kind of dancing around all of the... So let's kind of go through and see what is going on here. So our increment here looks like it is happening in the wrong order. Try moving that down. It's a little closer. Params appears to be pulled out much sooner. I'm gonna see if there is an easy way. Maybe I can get to this other. So I'm connected by Ethernet to the desktop that I do development on, but I don't have a router on that network at the moment. So when we moved into this house, I ran the coax. I kind of spliced in the coax in the attic and ran it to a closet that was a wet bar that we walled in, and it's kind of in a funny place in the house that I usually don't want the cable company coming into. So whenever the cable company comes over to check the internet, I move everything over to one of the bedrooms that's closest to where all their drops come in from outside, and then all of the other network access in the house goes away. So that's where we are at the moment. Let's see. Let me see if I can get to this by IP. I expected Bonjour to keep working without a router in place, but it's all the switch, like the switch is still there. It's not. What else can I do? Let me try the other way. No, yeah, I think my my Mac does not like that it can't get assigned an IP address. So we can just keep working this way, and we'll try to figure it out. I could get a floppy disk and transfer things over that way. Yes, the do while will go away. That is a dirty hack. Oh, I'm sorry, entropy gravity well. That's definitely a bummer. Yeah, I think we had a couple different things go through. I have one kid who just gets terrible fevers, and so he's every time he gets sick, we just have to watch him like crazy because he'll be up over 103 degrees for nothing, like otherwise fine, but then burning up. And then we just have to worry about it spreading through to everybody. And as soon as we thought it was gone, then another kid got sick again with something else. And I'm going to look at this line 115 quickly. So there's this shift right by 16 bits and the shift left up here. This tells me that I have a either a 16-bit value where I should have a 32-bit or vice versa. So I'm going to try fixing that, see if that changes anything. It did, but not necessarily for the better. And the unsigned load is a little weird. Well, long story short, I ended up with a kid with an ear infection then too. And I think everything is fine today. I think. Oh, so we do have the shifting around, but it's happening within the arguments themselves. So I'm going to try pulling up this facing left. So I'll make an x offset variable, and we'll just make that a sine 32. Is your mom doing better? Entropy gravity well? So, okay, so what it seems like is happening here is a little different from what I originally thought. We're going to be calculating 32-bit x and y values, and I'll start with, I'll just call them x and y offset. That's not a good name for the variables that are going into the check collision function, but that's what I'll call them. And then for x offset, there is going to be this, it looks not like a ternary. That's good to hear that people are doing better. And this is looking much better. this is not quite what I want. And this just is getting further and further away. Let's look at this a little bit. Where's this A2 being loaded? The argument 2 is being loaded where expected. Okay, so that's looking better. So now what's wrong is the 8. So sometimes just getting the right types in place is all that's necessary. These still seem like they're coming much earlier. Yeah, but that does not help. So this is a little closer, but not great. The branch here is stubbornly wanting to stick with equal to 0 instead of not equal to 0. And when I not it, it's just changing the order of the branch. I can try an explicit not equal to 0. I don't think that's going to change anything either. Yeah, there's some stuff I'm missing. Without having other resources available, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make much additional progress. So what I think I'll do is go over to... We started on another function in the same area, and I'm gonna have to reload this probably. The reason I started with this function, I believe, if I remember correctly, is because it either called this function or this function called it. There was some chain between them. And it seemed like possibly knowing one was going to help with the other, and so let's see if that actually did help. Maybe it was not this function. I'm a little bummed about that. I really thought that other function was going to fall pretty quickly. Is this it? I don't remember this and what this was related to, but this. This looks like one that was started. I don't see references back and forth, but let's see what was wrong with this one. All of it needs to get done eventually, so let's figure out what might be missing. All right, so 25, the first thing. There's a bunch here that is a bit messy because of some types that look wrong. So when there is a mask like this, usually that means a wrong type was chosen. And this temp A0 is never assigned. A0 is going to be the argument, and it's likely that it's the first field in this argument that's being checked. Let's look at the decomp and see what's going on. All right, so A0, looks like an assignment was lost somewhere along the way, going to unknown 56. And I can look at this other computer. Can't show it to you, but I can look at it. Unknown 56 is the animation current frame. So this is this assignment down here. Why it's happening out of order, I couldn't tell you. The animation current frame is a 16-bit value, but it's being cast for whatever reason as a 8-bit value. And so that matches. We shouldn't need this mask. And so we'd be getting that mask because var A0 is not a 8-bit value. So that fixes a bunch of that. Then down on 86, we're missing a mask. Okay, so we need a way to convince the compiler that this immediate value is should be treated as unsigned, but var A's or temp A0 is not. This looks like it may be the else condition here. So let's think about what this is saying. So if I think it might be good to rename temp A0 as animation current frame. This might not even need to be a variable. It's possible that we can just because it's a unsigned byte instead of a 16-bit unsigned signed 16-bit. I guess we'll need that. All right, so if the hitbox is 1E, then we're going to, or sorry, if the current frame is 1E, then we're going to do one or the other. That's fine. And then if the current frame minus 5 is greater than 1A, we're going to set the index one way, otherwise we're going to set it the other way. Do this instead. Instead of casting it, I'm going to, or sorry, I am going to cast it instead of forcing this to be an unsigned. Well, that doesn't do anything either. make this a sign 16 and see what that changes. Oops. Sign 26. That's a new data type. And it's a sign 32. Alright, so here we're missing the masks, but everything else looks fine. So now we can add those masks back. One second. Wires will be back after this brief pause. Hello? Yes. Yes. Okay, great. Yep, bye. Thanks for waiting. That was the internet man saying that he's 10 minutes away, so I'm going to wrap this up, and hopefully we'll come back tomorrow with a working connection and back to where we were. So there's some things missing here that I'm going to need to figure out related to these data types. It's a little odd that the current frame is being loaded by casting it to an unsigned value, but at half the size that the current frame normally is. But that just may be related to what this is and the scale that they want to keep these values to. So we'll see about that. Tomorrow I should be able to get back to other versions of the game. We can look at the PSP version as well, which probably will help with this. But this got up from 85 to 95%, so it's not the worst. Just a few data types to be fixed. So I'm going to end it there. Sorry, super short stream today. I will be back tomorrow, and then probably taking Wednesday and Thursday off. I hope everybody had a great Christmas, and I hope everybody has a happy New Year as well. But we'll be back before then. We've been decompiling Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Go to soten.z.dev to get more info about that, and find a link to GitHub, link to Discord, and see what we've been working on. We've been focusing on some of the functions in the outer wall, which is N01. That quickly getting decompiled. Some of this may already be decompiled. I haven't been looking. So we'll have something a little more structured and thought through tomorrow. But that's all I have for you today. Happy New Year. Adios.